Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls. Welcome back to Hippo Cup 9 Group Stage, Day 4 of 4. It is the final big ol' block of matches, and I think we've got some good ones for you. We've got, boy, I don't know, it's like 6 or 7 matches spread out over the next, maybe more than that, spread out over the next like 5 hours. So, strap yourselves in for some group stage OSU action. We're starting things off with Dog Breaking versus Pick, the top seed and the high seed in Group H. I am, of course, T1G, joined by iFlame. Good morning and welcome. Are you prepared, Mr. iFlame, for some OSU?
Good morning, thank you. I am the most prepared, as always. I definitely did not wake up about 5 minutes ago. But that aside, it's going to be an exciting day of matches. Most of the matches in each group have been played already, so there's a lot at stake here. You mentioned these two teams being at the top of their group, and they won both of their first matches 5-0 against Hippo Happy. Of course, this is Seed 1 versus Seed 16, so Dog Breaking certainly seemed to have the edge, but play the matches for a reason, and they have quite a strong team. As you mentioned before, they have a lot of the Polish OWC players, of course all the ones that were in the rank range, plus some extras, and we see a lot of them in the lobby now. But on the side of Dog Breaking, you've got players like Origin, Nisha Awa, Nathan Ram, Yokespy, a lot of your top players as well. We get the first couple bands coming through. It's going to be DT5 for Dog Breaking and the Fremont 3 band for Pick.
Yeah, a couple 3 bands there for Pick. Hard Rock 3 and Fremont 3. Not liking the 3 slots, I guess. Hard Rock 3 we haven't seen a whole ton, it feels like. Fremont 3 is just really straightforward. I want to say that Dog Breaking may have played that in their previous match, but here's the thing with Dog Breaking, right? They just 3 or 4-way like every single map. That's kind of just what that team does because their roster is so incredibly loaded. Pick has only played their 1 match, as well as mentioned. I did not get to see that match. Quite frankly, it was at 8 a.m. I was just not awake because I didn't go to bed until like 1:30 last night because of the late matches at the end of the day. So sadly, a little not as familiar with what to expect out of that team in terms of performance. But hey, a 5-0 is a 5-0. This group has gotten off to a start where 3 matches have been won by a combined total of 15 points to 1. So some dominant performances, to say the least, I think. Poor Hippo Happy stuck in this group and just losing 15 to 1. They played all 3 and they won 1 map. That's rough, man.
Yeah, they're not having the best go of things, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes when you're the lowest seed in the group by a fair bit. And, I mean, all the other teams are at 1-0. A lot of them yet to play their second match. We're seeing that happen now, and so there is still potential for this group to end in a 3-way 2-1 tie.
Please no.
Not that it's necessarily
Please
likely,
no.
but then the points differential, of course, will come into effect. We get No Mod 1 as the final ban, and now we wait for that pick from Dog Breaking. And for a team like Pick, I will say, I think they could look towards things like the No Mod 6 that are more kind of practicable and less mechanically difficult. Whereas Dog Breaking, I feel like they generally really want to push that skill cap as much as you can for group stage.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one because, we've talked a bunch in previous matches across the weeks, how typically your higher seeded teams will pick, gimmicky, skill cappy stuff. Even in a group stage where the pool isn't that hard, but in a matchup where you have 2 teams that should both have plenty of competent players on them, that strategy I think becomes a little less meaningful. And it starts to be a little bit more, I mean, honestly, this type of matchup, it starts to be a little more about just who will 3 or 4-way more maps, while your opponents maybe, have 1 or 2 misses. Because you're looking at a team with Michny, with Bartek, with Kosierek, and so on and so forth, and you're just expecting FCs out of them just the same as you would out of dog breaking. So very interested to see how this one kind of plays out. And it's going to start with Hard Rock 2. So we're going to start Flamenco House, which dog breaking had banned against them by Hippo Happy. Did not have the opportunity to play that in their first match. And so we will have not gotten to see them on that previously. Pick, meanwhile, hang on a sec here. Wow. Pick versus Hippo Happy was 5 straight Nomads. All they played were Nomads.
Wow.
They played Nomad 5, then Nomads 1, 2, 3, 4. So neither of these teams has played this map yet, so we don't have a baseline for what to expect on it. But it's a super cool map, kind of tech finger control hard rock, and it's a banger song. Like this kind of song is really cool, I think.
Yeah, I've not seen this one so far, actually. It's been banned quite a bit. It's certainly not been an uncommon ban, but I do think this looks pretty good for dog breaking. I mean, you already see Anesthetic and Max in the lobby. Pick with their roster set.
Yeah, they're quick to the line here, huh? They're ready to go.
I know Kosi Erect is... Oh, no, there is Kosi Erect. Okay, that makes more sense.
I want to check one thing here real quick. No Nathan Ram is interesting if he's indeed not in. Well, maybe he's in. We're gonna see.
Yeah, still one spot left over. But it's gonna be Kusuria, last member, so no Nathan Ram indeed. Yeah, definitely interesting. We see no Nathan Ram, no Misha Awa in for dog breaking. Maybe just not as comfortable on this map specifically, or not available. Remains to be seen. I know in the scheduling, some of the team members may be asleep still, so
we're in other matches, I guess,
see how things
feasibly.
go.
I don't know what's going on today around the tournament scene. I would not want to be missing players for this matchup if I were either of these teams. Like, I would want to have everybody possible available. So we're going to see what happens, because I believe Dog Breaking had Misha Awa and Nathan Ram in for all 5 maps yesterday in their previous match. So we'll see how they do if they're missing them for any or many, I suppose, maps of this one.
Yeah, it would be hurtful for sure, because the other team in this group, TONG, is a 7-seeded team, so that 3rd seed is far from a free victory as we get into this first Hard Rock 2, and a strong start for both teams. We're yet to really get into the trickier parts of the map, and I mean, at this level of gameplay, all these players should be relatively comfortable, but this is where it starts to pick up in difficulty slightly, and we may start to see a couple misses here and there. But for now, 8-way FC, things looking dead even.
Yeah, this is, I think, what you're going to see, and this was why we kind of picked this group as, you know, if possibly a kind of group of death scenario, because there are just a lot of good players on the teams. And you're going to see, I think, quite a few FCs, and we've seen, you know, maps decided by literally one break. We've seen in the group stage overall, we've seen maps with 8-way full combos just decided by mod advantage, barely even decided by accuracy. So the smallest things can really play a part, and right now you see the score just flickering on that 8-way. The accuracy staying high for pretty much everybody. The combo's still there for everybody. Oh man, 2/3 of the way through. There's just nothing in it. It's dead even still.
Yeah, I mean, this ending I don't think is that much more difficult than the rest of the map, so there is still some missed potential. We could definitely see something like an 8-way FC here, and then it is just coming down to accuracy, something that is exceedingly rare for Score V1, but it's looking more and more to be the case, and the nerves must be strong for these players. They are all tournament veterans, so should be able to hold strong as we approach the ending. I think it looks like it's going to come down to accuracy.
It really just might. It's the fewest little hundreds here or there. Try to avoid dropping any accuracy at the ending on this 8-way. It's that 100 late from Kusuria, but 100 late from Elementary. It goes back and forth, and oh my god, it's 20,000 points at the last second on the 8-way FC, and Pick takes it. Now that is group stage at its finest right there. Oh my god, what a start.
Yeah, you love to see the consistency from both teams, and we certainly have a match on our hands. I mean, not only is it the 8-way FC, but that's a break point for Pig Pick. That's got to feel a little bit bad for Dog Breaking to have played pretty much as good as you could reasonably expect and still lose the point. Yeah, I'm
Whew.
not sure Nathan Ram or Mishawa would have necessarily made the difference on that one. I mean, I guess they could have had a couple hundreds better accuracy, but yeah, I think that's one of those maps you just say unlucky and you move on. And we've got DT3 pick for Pig Pick.
So I'm just doing the math here. It's 49 total 100s for Pick Pick versus 42 total 100s for Dog Breaking. So they actually had fewer total 100s. They had better total accuracy, but they lost because of where the hundreds were. Oh, they also they missed.
I believe on your no mod players, right?
They missed one slider end.
No.
There were 7 1005 combos and 1 1004 combo with a score difference of 20,000 points. That literally could have been it, depending on where that was. That is absolutely brutal. Wow. And yeah, group stage. It's group stage. But
I love Hippo Cup.
Gee. Oh man. So we go into DT3 as the first pick for Pick Pick. Yeah. This is not a map I feel like we've seen a whole lot. This has been getting banned, it feels like, a ton. Kind of this slightly awkward swing rhythm DT. You know, it's got a little bit of slider element to it. I have not quite been able to figure out why this has been getting banned so much. Maybe we'll find out after we see it played here. But this would be a crazy start for Pick Pick if they can go breakpoint by 20k into winning their own pick for that quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah, that doesn't seem all that difficult in my mind, but certainly could be mistaken. I mean, I don't know if we'll necessarily see another 8-way FC, but again, as with a lot of the maps in this group stage, for two teams like this, I would be surprised not to see at least a few FCs on it. You know, it's not like it's a super high circle size or especially high AR, so you expect a map like this to be rather comfortable for both of these teams. As I say that, we do already see an early miss from Nathan Ram, and I think nice for Dog Breaking. They do now have Nathan Ram and Misha Awa in the lobby, so we know they have those players available. And aside from that early miss, should be able to recover as Alimon finds the miss. Maybe this map is harder than we expected. We're missing on 3-star patterns.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where, like, playing it is a little bit more difficult than it looks visually just because of the rhythm choices. Swing rhythm, you know, just a little non-standard with all the kind of doubles and stuff. And there's also a couple of super weird slider patterns that can trip it. There's some sliderator sliders in this a little later on, which is just not the most common thing to see, obviously. But just one break apiece. That combo lead about 90 for Nathan Ram over Elementaire. And maybe a little accuracy. It's accuracy lead to Pick Pick, I think, actually, despite the SS on Maxim. Not by much, though. Just a couple hundreds.
Yeah, given that we've already had a couple misses as early as they were, almost invalidates accuracy already.
You'd be surprised.
Of score V1. Yeah, if it's a big enough gap, it can definitely still matter. But this is really important pick for Pick Pick to consolidate because, you know, they could give up this breakpoint and all their hard work on that 8-way will be for naught. So it's a good recovery from Ali Monterre, but we just haven't seen any further misses from Dog Breaking. So they're going to be able to hold on to this lead. Right now it's about 700,000 points, which for score V1 is nothing. And Pick Pick just kind of has to sit and hope for Dog Breaking to find one more miss before this map comes to an end.
And there's our little sliderator section with the weird timed sliders. Nobody falling there. Nobody breaking on that little spaced 6-note pattern, which I know is silly, but we've seen it happen. And it kind of just feels like, if a team takes a lead, they are just going to win the map because there's so many FCs. And once you get ahead, it's hard for the other team to come back if you just don't miss. It's I know it sounds crazy, it's unbelievable, but that's just how it is. Like if you're up by a million score and you are holding all of your combos, yeah, you just win the map.
Yeah, Peak had about a 30-note window at the start of the map where Nathan Ram found the miss. Ali Monter misses 200 notes in, and the map is over, just like that. And Dog Breaking, they get their breakpoint back, and all of a sudden they're not going to feel too bad about that previous breakpoint as things are all tied up early on.
At the same time, you feel bad for if you're Dog Breaking that you didn't take the break point or take your own point on the first pick, because now you'd be up the break point. Realizing, oh, dang, we won that pick after we lost our own pick. Like, shoot, we could be 2-0 now.
That's very true.
But yeah.
Never feels great to lose a pick generally.
Yeah, very, very rare. I mean, if you're up like 6-0 in a best of 13 and you lose one map, it's not the end of the world. But, the margins are a lot smaller in best of 9.
They certainly are, especially on a pool like this one. And we'll see what Pukic does want to go for the next pick. Or sorry, it's actually Dog Breaking's next pick. And so we'll see if they do want to change things up. I feel like, especially after seeing that 8-way and losing out on the accuracy and potentially the misslider end, in my mind at least, you just pick whatever you feel like the hardest map in the pool is to make sure they don't lose to something like another 8-way FC accuracy battle.
Yeah, I think technically speaking, that's probably no mod 3 if you're looking for that higher difficulty map. And as mentioned, there's just not, this pool's just not that hard for these players in general. So it really is a test of, will you FC more so than a test of what score you're going to get. They're going to go DT2. So we're going to do a little bit of tapping. Just a small amount of tapping. They did play this in that match yesterday against Hippo Happy and closed out the match with it with only a double FC. It was a double SS, I should say, on Misha Awa and Maxim. Their other two players were Almacetic and Ahio. They did not FC on either of them. So, gotta, I think, plan to improve that this time around. Like, you have to just plan for a 4-way, which is a crazy thing to say, but you have to pick maps knowing that you are capable of 4-waying them if you want to win them in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be fair to Dog Breaking, this is a map I've seen quite a few times, and we've seen some players struggle a little bit more. Of course, certainly still have a lot of FCs, but you don't necessarily expect to see the 8-way on a map like this. Although between these two teams, it's entirely possible, as that's going to keep being the trend throughout the entirety of this match. So, if you can guarantee 2 near SSs, you're going to put yourself in a pretty good spot to start, as long as the other two players can get, I think, at least very close to an FC. If you find one miss at the start or the end, usually not going to be the end of the world, but then again, if you find that miss right in the middle, could turn into a series of breakpoints.
Be interesting to see this match start off with 3 breaks in a row. That would be quite something, considering the relative strength of these teams. I guess maybe it wouldn't be as surprising since they're very closely matched on a pretty easy pool, but well, we'll find out how it goes. We have Genix, Maxim, Amacetic, Misha, Awa. So that's interesting because that means no who? Who is it switching? It's switching in GNX for Ahio, who missed it yesterday. Eka Bartek, Bobiak, and Elementaire. As we said, Pick only played no mods in their first match, so no score for them on this map yet. Or roster.
Yeah, I mean, they do have some very strong tapping players on their roster. Looking at players like Bartek, like Ali Monter as well. And so I think they're going to be perfectly fine on a map like this. And on these early patterns, it is entirely possible to miss on these flow-in patterns. So you have to be careful because as we've seen, even these kind of shit misses right at the start can absolutely make the difference in a match like this one. But everybody is going to survive the beginning and now 170 combo. And people have had a chance to settle into the match, so should be well into things now. And both teams, yet again, off to a good start.
It is, yeah, I mean, just those couple hundreds. Oh, it's a break from Bartek. The hidden stumbling, suffering, falling behind. It's not going to be a gigantic margin because it's only about not even 300 combo difference, but still, that could be all that dog breaking need. Everybody's favorite phrase, you know, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile, could well come into play when you have the four-way still intact. Including a couple players doing quite well on those FCs, shall we say. And so it is accuracy lead, it is combo lead. Dog breaking halfway through this one into the lead by reaching toward 2 million score.
Yeah, and still 2 SSs on the board for dog breaking. Clearly just incredibly comfortable on this map. The other two players not SSing are still at high 99s. I think Maxim is on either 2 or 3 at 100 combo. And unfortunately, all Pick can do is wait and hope for a miss from dog breaking. So far this match, those misses, they've just not come to UNG, and this map is coming to an end. Dog breaking still on the four-way, and looking like they may just close it out. Peek now on the break, going to see the damages. Bartek is going to have that realization, but it is going to put a lot of pressure on to dog breaking. This ending is pretty tricky. There are some very missable patterns, but dog breaking just going to hold on for another 2 seconds, and looks like they should be able to do so here.
Yep. You just can't miss. Like I said, you aren't allowed to miss in this matchup. It's 5 total hundreds on dog breaking. Another double SS. That is 2 plays, 2 SSs for Misha Awa on this one. I'm Ascetic the second SS this time. Maxim really fell off. Just a whole 1-100. Can't be having that. And look, it's Bartek with 1 slider break. It wasn't even a miss. So his 1-100 was a slider break, and that lost them the map just immediately. I mean, that's just the level that these teams are at in terms of consistency on a pool that's relatively easy for them.
Yeah, the 1 slider break SS always feels bad. That is, it's a classic though. And they're gonna go for a quick no mod 4 pick. So opting into Angelfish.
I'm just thinking that's 11 out of 12 FCs now, right, for dog breaking.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Oh man. That's so Nomad 4 pick going back to the Nomad pool from the previous match. They're kind of opting into maybe the quote-unquote harder maps with this pick. DT3 and Nomad 4, a little less straightforward than something like that DT2 was. This is a map that dog breaking also played previously. Let's see how many FCs they had on it, shall we? Oh, they only had 3. Nope, I lied. They actually only had 1 FC. Sorry, they had 2 S ranks on top of the FC. But that was all. Meanwhile, in the other match for Pick. I don't know how they want their name pronounced, honestly. Let's see. They had a double FC. So,
okay,
you know, a 64 million team score versus a 59 million team score. Let's be real here. Just everything in this matchup is going to be close, and it's going to be a battle of getting those FCs, as we've already seen from the first 3 maps.
Yeah, and realistically, when you see all those slider break S ranks, it's not because the map is too difficult or the pattern is too difficult. It's just the kind of map where any given player in this lobby has probably multiple FCs in practice, assuming they've practiced the pool. And sometimes you just get unlucky in the match. It's a question of who ends up getting unlucky on this specific run. Good luck, have fun in the chat. We're going to be finding out shortly. As a Kusiria in once again for dog breaking along with Yolks Pie. So a couple of roster changes there. Things looking pretty similar for Pick.
Yeah, this 3 of the 4 from dogbreaking's previous play on this. No, I think they might not have Ahio today, because this is another map that he was in for yesterday, not in Forte. It's Kusuria, as mentioned, in that 4th slot. Ekabartek, Kosirek, Elementaire is the same roster that Pick ran on this previously. Let's see if everybody's locked in. Maybe we just get another, 4-way FC battle. There are a couple of decently tricky slider patterns. It's a mere tech map, so it's not going to be super hard as far as tech goes, but it is still going to have the inherent difficulty of this style of mapping. So,
yeah, I mean, on a map like this, right? If we do see a lot of FCs, then the accuracy could be a factor as well. It is one of those maps where you have some potential for more accuracy drops compared to the other maps we've played so far.
Yeah. As of yet, no real problems, though. Score just flickering here. Oh, that's a break from Kosirek? Nope, that's a Bancho. That is a Bancho.
Oh.
Had to give it a second.
Yeah, we're probably going to have a few of those on this map, so we'll have to be wary of any misses and slider breaks. And as has been the trend this match, it is a third of the way into the map, and we've got an 8-way FC. But there are lots of tricky patterns to go. Last time around, it was Bartek who found the sole miss for Pick, which did end up costing him the point, but looking good this time around, and accuracy really solid on both teams. Everybody except for Yokespie and actually now Maxim above 99, but they're not too far behind. And I mean, it's going to be what, 50,000 point lead for Pick. It's going to be practically nothing really until we see that first miss come through.
If we see that first miss come through.
It's not a guarantee.
I feel like I've seen a couple people get buzz slidered. I think it's like there's one super quick buzz slider at the bottom right of the screen at like 2/3. Other than that, it's just, maybe one of these patterns somewhere or other that can get you. But, I mean, everybody's just locked in on this. It's the accuracy lead. It is all for Pick. And really, even that's marginal. Man, this is just so close. Maybe I was mistaken about that buzz slider. I could have sworn it was around there, but maybe I'm misremembering. Either way, I mean, it's just 8-way full combo. It's a couple hundreds in favor of Pick. Like, that's it, man. And we're almost 3/4 of the way through. Surely somebody has to break somewhere. Surely.
You would think, but they just don't miss. I mean, this is such a crazy match. Pick in Score V1 is currently 3/4 way into the map, winning based purely off of accuracy. I mean, there are a couple more tricky patterns right at the end, so there is still potential to find misses here, but you gotta watch the accuracy drops as well, right? We see a couple hundreds coming out from Elementaire and Kosirek, but...
Oh, that pattern!
I back over. Maxim and Elementaire are gonna be trading, so it should be even, but it looks like a worse miss for Elementaire. That score is now gonna be flickering. Pick very much still in this one. It's just gonna come down to these accuracy drops. Kosirek finding a couple hundreds. Maxim as well.
The crucial... Oh, there goes Bartek.
Oh, Bartek.
That's just going to be it. I was going to say the crucial factor was that Elementaire was on Hidden and Maxim was on Nomad. And so there was an extra Hidden FC on dogbreaking for just that little bit of score. But it's going to end up not mattering because of the Bartek break just a little bit later on. And so, unfortunately, 2 maps in a row, an ill-timed miss from the same player on that side of Pick. And, I mean... It sucks that it comes down to such small margins, but literally a slider break on the last map, and I think that's probably a slider break. Nope, it is a 1 miss on this one, has just cost them back-to-back picks in an instant. And dogbreaking, again, just on top of things, man. It's a 3-way FC. Maxim with the 3 miss on that one little finger control into flow pattern, same as Elementaire. Double FC, Eka Kosirek. I mean, it's as close as it gets time and time again, map in and map out. And it's just the 1 miss on Bartek, unfortunately, that really made the difference there when all was said and done. And that gives the break point consolidation kind of thing. Well, not really, I guess, because that is the break point, but it feels like a consolidation now that they're up 3-1.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, I have to wonder if Bartek's struggling with the nerves a bit. I mean, knowing that you have to FC pretty much every single map, It's a lot of pressure, and clearly Bartek is playing very well otherwise, is very comfortable on these maps, generally has high accuracy and combo through most of it. Just every single map feels like getting what I would classify as unlucky misses that are kind of uncharacteristic. But regardless, dog breaking, they've got the next pick. They've got lots of options left in this pool, and they're up 3-1 now. So we'll see if they can get that true consolidation. I mean, I always love to see no mod 6. I don't think it makes sense as a pick for them, but I do think they should do it anyways. Otherwise, I mean, could we see something like a free mod out of them? It seems like something they would feel pretty good on generally. But I don't know if they really... Okay, they're going to go for DT4 instead. Eureka, baby. You've got the 58-second map.
I was gonna say DT4 and didn't get a chance before they picked it, just because they picked DT2 before this, and they had free mod 3 banned against them, which kind of indicates like, hey, we want to play the faster stuff, and this is just that. It's the high BPM DT pick. It's got a couple of slightly awkward aim patterns, and it's got those couple of bursts, and it's at, what, 270-ish BPM. They looked... Well, I mean, both teams are just looking good on everything, but it just seems like this is the stuff they want to go into.
And to Misha's auto toilet break, we might need a timeout. The last match I commentated, they had tech issues, and I ended up listening to Eureka Baby like 7 times. And I'm not prepared to do it again.
and the thing is, like, also there aren't timeouts. Like, I'll give timeouts for tech issues. That's a different matter, but for
is a tech
for
issue.
Going to the bathroom, I don't think that
issue.
counts. I don't think that counts as a tech issue personally. Like, if you can't connect to a lobby or you're having PC problems, I might give some leeway for that. But
what if they have a wireless smart toilet?
Wireless smart toilet.
Could then be a tech issue,
This toilet is electronic, and the seat won't go up, and so I can't use it.
Exactly.
Because that's the last thing we need in toilet technology, bro. That's been how long, our current technology for that has been proven time for years on end. Like, how like you have like the smart fridges and stuff where you can like we have like the screens and like tell you what's in them and give you like automated shopping lists for the groceries and stuff. Like, we don't need whatever the equivalent of that would be for a toilet. We just don't. Like, they can stay in like the 1900s. They don't need to come into the 21st century. They're fine as they are.
You didn't pay your subscription. You can't flush today. Sorry.
You have used your you have used up your number of flushes for this month. You must pay a microtransaction to unlock more. God, don't let Apple or oh God, what's the Photoshop or Adobe get any ideas? All right, 2 early breaks on that first square pattern, 3 early breaks, 4 early breaks on that square pattern. Kosirek, Bartek, Almacetic, and Maxim all broke on that first pattern, and Maxim broke again. All right, we're getting some fireworks. We've already had multiple misses for like the first time this whole match.
Yeah, a little bit of excitement. Almacetic, another miss, and these are pretty impactful ones now. 200 combo behind in a very short map. We're already a third of the way in, and Pick are going to get off to a pretty strong lead here. But there are still 2 big combos on. That's another miss from Maxim, not having a good time on this map. And Pick are going to continue to grow this lead. With Misha Awa and Aheo still holding, there is potential for Pick to lose this point if any of their players find misses, but it's looking incredibly good for them as we get into the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're Pick, you just double tap the streams and try not to miss on the aim, and you're set. Yeah, this is over. Wow.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be the first map that dog breaking didn't get at least 3 FCs on. And they lose to a triple FC? No, only a double FC, but the other 2 combos were literally broken in the first 15 circles of the map. I don't know what happened to Amacetic and Maxim there. They missed just on aim like multiple times. Misha Awa on the SS, and it is completely meaningless against the double FC from Pick and the 2 very near FCs. And easy come, easy go on these break points, I guess.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be a match of breakpoints. I mean, at this point, figure out your opponent's best pick and go for that, maybe. Pick We've seen them we've seen a lot of DT from these two teams now. We've seen the DT3 and DT4. Recently, we saw the DT2 as well earlier. We'll see if they want to go back. I am curious. They're going to go straight for the DT1. So
Ooh.
DT it is. We've got now Lookbook, another very short map.
So Pick in their first match just played all the Nomads, and in this one they're just going to play all the DTs, I guess. Very different styles of matches. Yeah, Lookbook, this kind of fits with the DT3 that they picked earlier on, right? It has some of that light slider tech kind of element to it, albeit in a different style, since this is a little bit faster and, of course, greater than AR-10 to add into the difficulty. But this does line up with what they've been picking, going DT3, Nomad 4, and then into this DT1. Those all kind of fit into a similar bucket, so I definitely get where they're coming from with this selection.
Yeah, with that said, they haven't actually won any of their own picks yet, so I'm not sure if similar to what they've been picking is necessarily a good thing here.
I mean, they've won 2 breakpoints of their own, right? I mean, there's only been one map that was won by the team picking it out of 5, so at this point we can throw, common expectations, I think, right out the window.
We certainly can. We've got Bobiak in the lobby, I want to say for the wrong team.
Yeah, Bobiak and Alimentar both are on the wrong side.
Yeah, but first appearance for Bobiak, assuming they stay in the lobby, which I guess is actually not going to be the case.
Oh, we do a bit of lobby sitting. Hey, it's Nathan Ram. We haven't seen him in a while, it feels like.
They haven't, actually. Kind of surprising. Maybe just the style of maps that have been played, or...
Yeah, we get him back now. Maybe he's the catalyst for dogbreaking to take another breakpoint and give themselves a match point. Perchance.
Yeah, they do have a 100% win rate so far with Nathan Ram in the lobby.
Or do they now?
Big one for one. Quite the sample size. I mean, you can count their last match too, right? 5 for 5.
That's
so
fair.
6 for 6 with
fair.
Nathan Ram in.
Notably, a map neither of these teams has actually played yet. So both did not play this in their first match. So we'll see how it goes for them. And see if the Nathan Ram streak can continue. I mean, you could make the argument that he's best or second best player in this match overall between the 18 players on these teams. Him and Misha Awa, I would say, are probably the top 2. And then, you can debate from there because there's a lot of strong players immediately after that. But that pairing of those two is a pretty dangerous one, both in early stage and late stage. They have super high early stage consistency, very good late stage skill cap, which is what makes this tournament so fun, is you get these early rounds to let the players FC everything. And there's another break from Bartek, who, as you mentioned earlier, has been struggling just a little bit in this match. It's also Alimentar to fall, and so just like that, 2 FCs for Pick, and they probably just lost the map, quite honestly, because dogbreaking has only had 2 or fewer FCs on 1 of the 5 maps that's been played so far. So you got to anticipate them getting 3 or 4 FCs here. You drop 2 of your own, especially halfway through, it's over.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think it's very likely that this one is just over. There is a very difficult section coming up, but dogbreaking didn't miss on the first difficult section. No reason to expect them to do so now. And Pick, unfortunately, just running out of time. By the time this slow section is over, I'm afraid they will be out of contention unless we see an immediate 4-way miss, but I don't think it's going to happen. And dogbreaking, they're going to find another breakpoint. Pick, still yet to win one of their own picks, and the streak will continue for Nathan Ram.
Oh, it's a 4-way? Is that a 4-way?
It is.
Yeah, all right, man. This match has the highest concentration of FCs. I mean, we've said it multiple times. Like, it's just not a hard pool for these guys, but still, this sheer number of FCs is kind of absolutely wild. Shout out to Eka and Kosirek on solid accuracy FCs. Alimentar did the Bartek from DT2. 1 slider break, no misses. You really hate to see that. But, even just the Bartek break alone lost them the map. So, it's just rough. It's just rough, man.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be match point now for dogbreaking, so and Pick at least don't have their own pick, so that seems to be good for them.
I can't get over the pick. It's the pick.
It's so good. I need to find another word for it. The selection from Pick
Pick choice.
Pick. Exactly. Now we'll see if they want to stick with the DTs and go for something like the DT5. I mean, the DTs have worked well for them. They've won every DT except for DT4. DT 1, 2, and 3 all went their way. And so I'd say avoid the HR, maybe another one of the DTs, maybe one of the free mods. Although I guess like all the no mods are open as well.
Yeah, there's 4 no mods, plus 3 free mods. I don't know. I mean, you've got a lot of choices, right? That's kind of how this is with this pool being the size. There's just always a lot of maps. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just go DT6 so we pick all 5 available DTs. I don't know the last time I saw DT6. I think the least popular DT outside of DT3 being banned, but I don't know that DT6 is getting banned or picked. But it's gonna be free mod 1, and wow, I can't remember the last time I've seen a free mod 1, dude. I think I've seen like in the matches I've been involved in, I think I've seen a grand total of 1 free mod 1 pick or ban. Excuse me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have been a popular map. I mean, it is that anti-mod CS5 AR8. And so you do need a couple players on that low AR. Well, you need 1 player on the low AR hidden. You need 1 player on the precision.
Well, it's
and
not necessarily.
A lot of...
You could just go overmod hard rock, technically.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, for dogbreaking at least, you have Yokespie on your team, so you don't necessarily need to overmod hard rock because Yokespie is just cracked at anything ARH. But I mean, not in the lobby right now. Sarah Une actually in the lobby for Pick. Maybe in to take one of those mods. Might be a specialist. I'm honestly not certain.
I admit to not being as familiar with that player to know what to expect. And obviously I didn't play this before, so I can't judge off of like what their roster was in a previous match or anything. So I'm just playing this by ear, completely, utterly, 100% playing this by ear. Looks like we've got our rosters. We have Kusaria, GNX, Misha Awa, Nathan Ram, Eka Michni, Sarayun, and Kosirek. So we'll just kind of wait and see the mods.
We will. So when are we allowing Easy in Hippo Cup? That's what I want to know.
Problem with Easy is that it requires multipliers, and that requires math.
I know. It makes me so sad that Easy doesn't work well in a tournament setting, but yeah, it's just not great.
If there were a way, and I don't know if you can do this in Laser, if there were a way to more easily create and display custom mod multipliers in multiplayer, I think people might be more willing to allow Easy where they don't currently. But as it stands, it's just kind of a pain, and so yeah, unfortunately, we're just going.
We've got some overmods. It looks like we've got hidden hard rocks from Misha, Nathan Ram. We've got hiddens from GNX, Kusuria. Then we've got hard rocks from Kosirek, Mishni, Eka, and 1 hidden from Sarune. So these teams going full overmod. Did anyone tell them that they don't all need to take mods? Are they aware?
It is group stage. The maps are not that hard, so you maybe just, and also like hard rock comfort for pick, if anything, might be the reasoning. Not as comfortable possibly with the lower AR on Nomad or hidden. Early breakdown from Kosirek, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've already found 1 miss, which based on historical trends in this match means they can only find 1 more miss at most before they're out of this one. And even then, I mean, accuracy looks incredibly good for everybody on the side of dogbreaking. He had 2 SSs for quite some time. Kusuria clearly well practiced on this map on the AR8, showing no signs of struggles. And it is a good recovery from Kosirek, right? Pick are there. Oh, Eka finds a big drop as well. It's so late into the map now. That's going to be incredibly impactful. And they're going to see it at the break. Makes it even worse. And dogbreaking, no. They're on the precipice of victory as we've got half the map left to go.
Yeah, halfway through with a 4FC to 2 lead, trends of this match would indicate that it's actually over now. They have a 2 million score lead. They have all 4 FCs intact. It's unless something thus far unprecedented in this match were to occur in the last third of the map, it's done and dusted. And this map doesn't get any easier. I mean, the linear stream patterns and, you know, the kind of smaller circle aim requirements are going to remain the rest of the way through. But there's another break from Becca. There's another break from Ghost. Now it really is done. And that's just going to be dog breaking, closing it out with the second one pick of the match. Total.
Yep, and potentially with another casual four-way if this continues as it is. I don't think the end of this map is that difficult, so it's looking likely at this point.
They are reminding me of, oh, what was the team? It was a long, long time ago. There was a team that I think four-wayed an entire match in the group stage. Like, literally went 20 for 20 FCs. We're harkening back to those days. I think that was in, like, Hippo Cup 3 or 4. One of those super teams from that era with, like, God, AJT, Yokespie, I forget who all on that team. And there it is. It's a big, big win. It's a 14 million score gap. It's another four-way full combo. Dog breaking is just breaking this pool. It is simply too easy for them. You have to 3 or 4-way every map if you want to have a chance. And while Pick did manage to do that a couple times, not enough times, unfortunately. Dog breaking 5-2 final score. Go to 2-0 in the group and give themselves, I think, guaranteed through pretty much.
Yeah, I believe so, because Pick cannot catch up on score differential, even if they 5-0 against Catball. So dog breaking are through no matter what. Pick still a lot to play for, though. They're 1-1 now, and if they can beat Catball, then it will likely come down to point differential. So and I believe we've got the dog breaking Catball match, coming up right after this one, or is it at 17?
Yeah. Dog breaking Catball next, and then Pick Catball after that. That one's gonna, I think, be on the second stream, so that we don't just stream 3 matches in a row from the same group. Because you know, it just seemed like we should maybe switch things up a little bit at that point.
Yep, although that Catball Pick match could be the decider for who gets through, so we'll see. But I guess that's going to do it for us for now. We'll be right back in 10 minutes with the next match, which, as I just mentioned, dog breaking versus Catball. Should be a good one. We will see you guys shortly.
You are tasked with the most covert assignment to date. The time has come to pull the threads on the tapestry woven at the peak. Move swiftly and leave no trace. The descent must be graceful but inevitable. Those who ascended have forgotten the lessons of the climb. They believe their position is unassailable. Remind them that all heights are temporary. As a trusted member of our clandestine association, you are uniquely positioned to execute this mission. To ensure the fall is as precise as the rise was swift. Initiate the sequence.